I was thinking of like kind of thinking of some sort of intro that I could say every single time I start this podcast. Um I have like kind of an idea. Hello and welcome to the Professor's Lab podcast, the podcast where we're going to laugh together, cry together. Wait. The podcast where we're going to talk with each other. Laugh with each other, and maybe even cry with each other. I am Professor Tiggs, and this is Professor's Lab, the show with a clown, a nerd, a duck, and a degenerate. I'm doing my intro. So okay, I'm gonna take another minute here. I want to give an update on the Decades project. So I finished it over the weekend and stuff, or rather this Monday, okay? And I submitted it, and I showed my entire history class the project video, and I think I outdone myself. This is probably the best thing I made all school year, okay? And so everyone saw it, and they were all very quiet, engaged, and fixated on this video, okay? They didn't really laugh that much in the beginning, but halfway through when there's like a joke, they laughed, giggled, chuckled even. And then there were some other jokes towards the end, and they laughed at that. It's all good. And I almost said his name. The teacher was very impressed. That was a very good Decades project. That's what he said. That was his words. Child. So, I think I did really good. My parents think I did really good. My friends and my associates, my teammates for the project think that I did really good. And that will be uploaded on this second channel here soon. Tomorrow, Sunday, Fun Day, Monday, one of those days. I don't know. I'll get it out as soon as possible. I've just been working on shorts and interviews. Now, my competition was this other YouTuber friend of mine. We don't really talk that much anymore, but he happens to be in my class. And I was on his podcast one time. And so I was kind of competing to see if he would have a worse project than mine. Okay? And the editing was horrible. I hate to talk about all this behind his back like this, but the editing was awful. He did skits. The whole thing was just skits. He was like pretending to be a news reporter and all that. I wish I could show it. It's like, it's funny, funnier than mine, but it's just everything else is just horrible. The comedy is the only thing it has going for it. Yeah, people loved it. It was like the best one up until I showed my video, but nobody laughed at mine as much as they did at his, you know, because he's in drama. He's very popular. All the drama kids are always sucking his toes. But yeah. So, whether or not me or him did the best is kind of a stalemate right now, because like I think it all comes down to how much did people laugh at it, you know? Did they, like, just because mine has a bunch of edits everywhere, every single second, just to keep you stimulated while watching, it, like, doesn't mean it's the best, really. Because I added so many edits, it was just unnecessary, you know? That was kind of the point. I wanted you to be as stimulated as possible, because our day and age is, you know, watching short-form content. There's just edits all over the place, keeping your attention, you know? So if I made the video normally on like YouTube or something, then it would be a whole lot more relaxed. Not a whole lot, but a little more relaxed. I don't know. Like, the standard for the classroom is a whole other beast, you know? But, so the version I'm going to be uploading on YouTube, it's going to be a little bit longer, okay? It's going to have all the deleted scenes I cut out because they were too offensive or boring, one of those things. Or just unnecessary in general. Yeah, so there's going to be some parts that you might see where it's like, did you really show that to your class? And the answer is no, because if it's like that outrageous, then I cut it out. Don't worry. Um, mm, that might be it. I don't know why. What's his nuts? Oh, that was Gregolicious. What the frick? I didn't know that was her. She was probably saying something super important. Okay. Now, so today's episode of the podcast is supposed to be movie related. If I knew that that was Vivzy Pop, I would have addressed her otherwise. Yeah, we're supposed to be talking about movies and shows, so I wanted to really get into the meat of like how I've been consuming this art form this year. You know, I've been watching Breaking Bad finally. I finished the first 3 seasons of Better Call Saul. I watched the first season of Vikings. It's alright. I started watching The Owl House. I'm like almost done with season 2. What else? Okay, how about movies? I watched Drive, American Psycho last year. Taxi Driver. That movie was so boring. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And so much more. I also watched The Whale. So, I've been like The Whale cannot just leave my mind. You know, it's by A24. I've never cared about their existence until now, as I watched The Whale. Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's alright. I wish there was a lot more effects in that movie, but it's alright. Like, I enjoyed The Whale better, honestly. Like, it's a drama with Brenden Fraser where he's morbidly obese and he can't even walk. Okay, he needs like chair, you know? And he's just eating himself to death because he had like a husband that died, which happened to be one of his students when he was working at a school. And so it was very controversial, but he had a wife before that and a kid. And so he wanted to live his true self and be a Homo sapien, marry a man. And so he left his wife and kid when she was like 8 years old or something. And I don't know. So the movie tackles the subject of like child abandonment. And the daughter stops by his apartment as she's like 17. And she's right, yeah, she was 17, right? She doesn't look 17, but she's supposed to be. And she's complaining about school, her classes, everything. She's a big negative Nancy. And she smokes weed. She's very rude. She's like stereotypically rude, you know? Like exaggerated even. Like you can tell that the writers are probably in their 30s or 40s, you know? Like this is just not how kids act nowadays. That's how rude she was. Like where's the slurs, you know? So I don't know what Brenden Fraser's name is supposed to be in the movie, so I'm just gonna call him Brenden Fraser. I like totally forgot what his name is supposed to be. He has this roommate, and apparently she used to be Mormon, and now she's not. She's a negative Nancy. She smokes all the time, always yelling at him for eating himself to death. And, you know, she's just a friend because he likes men, so she's just there. And she takes care of him. She goes out and gets some food. And eventually, there's this missionary that comes by. Is this the beginning of the... I think at the beginning of the movie, yeah. So we see Brenden Fraser. He's jerking off to gay porn. I'm not even joking. That's what happens. And then he starts having a heart attack because he's jerking off too fast. That's how fat he is, okay? And so he's like... He doesn't know if he's about to die. And so this missionary, he knocks on the door. And so then Mr. Brenden Fraser's like, just, the door's unlocked, as he's like dying and stuff. And so the missionary comes in, he's like, hello, I am from, are you dying? What's going on? What, should I call the ambulance? What's going on? And so then Mr. Brenden Fraser gives him this essay, and he tells him to read it out loud. And he didn't explain why, he just wants him to read it. So the missionary starts reading it, and it's an essay about Moby Dick, the big whale. The big whale, get the frick out of here. And so it's like an essay. It was later revealed that it was written by his daughter, his 17-year-old daughter, when she was a lot younger. And he just kind of like kept it, and it's very sentimental to him because it's a good essay. Like, it's not too poetic. Like, I think it has a deeper meaning, but on the surface, it's, I don't know, the essay's alright. It's kind of like, it's one of the motifs of the movie, you know, the essay. But, it's something like, the story of Moby Dick is about a big whale, and I found it very boring. It was very boring to read. I really hated it. I think the author, projection, he's trying to save us from himself. You know, something like that. Something like, it's like, it doesn't sound deep on the surface, but it has like a deeper meaning. I don't know. I didn't catch on. I'm autistic, okay? So then his heart attack starts calming down, and, you know, he says to the missionary, it's just a good essay. I didn't know if I was going to make it. I just wanted to hear it one last time. And so it takes the essay back, and the missionary introduced himself. He says that he's from New Light, which is a interesting Mormon variation. They believe that the rapture is going to be upon ye, and like it's going to destroy the world, but all that is holy will stay, or no, not stay, will die as well, but then be transported to like a paradise. Okay, so heaven, but different, you know. So yeah, he says that he's not interested, whatever, and then his roommate comes in. No. Oh, I don't remember. Oh my gosh, what happens next? I don't know. You get it. So, roommate doesn't like the missionary. She comes in then, or some other scene, and meets the missionary, and she's like, get the frick out of here, we don't want your kind in here. And he's like, may I ask why? And she's like, I used to be one of you people, but I learned that poopy's bull poopy. I want you out of my house right now, we're not interested. I think she had like a sibling that died for some reason, and so that's why she hates the church. I don't know. So as we're introduced to his daughter at some point, she just stops by just to like complain because she's like mad at her mom, mad at school, and she complains about how she's failing school, specifically English. And Mr. Brenden Fraser happens to be an English professor, okay, and he teaches college kids, I think, how to write professionally. Teaches literature. He's really into literature, you know. So he's like, I can help you with your homework. I can make sure you actually graduate, you know. And she's like, why the frick would you do that? Because you're so special to me. You don't. It's funny how you don't realize how wonderful you are. You know, like he's so sweet to his daughter. It's like, yeah, you know. But yeah, she's very neglectful for a little bit, and then she's like, okay, fine, you can write me an essay. How about that? And he even offers to like give her all of his money because he knows he's gonna die soon anyway, and he has all this money he doesn't know what to do with because he doesn't go outside. He's too fat to walk around, or, you know, get down the stairs to go into the street and go to the store or something. Why is there a bucket in my room full of stuff? I didn't notice that until now. Yeah, so she leaves. He gets gets to writing the essay. Spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, he gives her the essay to turn in, and she doesn't even read it. She just turns it in, and then comes back the next day, and then she's like, "What the frick? I got an F. Dad, I thought you said you knew what you're doing." And so then he's like, "Well, did you read it?" And she's like, "Okay, fine. This is my essay from middle school about the stupid whale book." And he's like, "It's a good essay. I don't know why he gave you an F." What a doofus, you know. Now she's failing school again. Anyway, eventually the daughter comes back as like the daughter comes back and he's writing the essay, and she puts like roofies in a drink or something, and then he takes it and he passes out. At least I think it was in a drink, maybe it was in food, I don't know. And so he's just like dead asleep, and eventually the Mormon comes by, and so she answers the door. She's like, "Hey, what's up? What's good with you, dog?" And he's like, is that your father over there? Is he dead? What's going on over there?" And she's like, "Oh, he'll be fine. He's just passed out. You know, I put roofies in his drink." And he's like, "What? But why would you do that?" And she's like, "I don't know, cause who cares? Fat lard, you know." She's very fat phobic. So then they're talking about the religion, and then she just starts smoking weed in front of him, and he's like, "What the frick are you doing?" And she's like, "Smoking weed, what does it look, or smoking pot, they don't call it weed. Smoking pot, what does it look like? Stupid. Get out of here." And he's like, "You really shouldn't do that in front of me. It's kind of strange." And she's like, "Take a hit, or else I'm gonna tell everyone that you drugged my dad." And he's like, "Huh?" Or something like that. She like threatened him to take a hit of the weed pipe. And so he's like, "Okay, fine." And he doesn't even like hesitate that long. He just like, "Okay, fine." And so then she takes a picture of him with the thing in his mouth. And he's like, "What the frick, man? Frick you, nibble." And she's like, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna post it. I will, unless if you do this and that." I don't even remember what she told him to do next, but there you go. So they start talking about things, and eventually we learn that the Mormon, he says that he's smoked weed before, and that's why he's on the mission, because he was caught smoking weed, and his parents are like, "Bruh, we need to get you on a mission or something before the bishop excommunicates you." And so there you go. He's pretty much a fake Mormon. Like, that's crazy. That's why he was so not hesitant to smoke the weed. Okay, so I don't know. They have a scuffle. He locks himself in the room, and he starts saying something. He tells a story about how he's smoking weed and stuff, and had to go on the mission because his parents made him. And so the daughter, this little bit, okay, she records the whole conversation on her phone and doesn't tell him, and so she can keep it later. I don't remember what she ends up doing with that audio. I think she shows it to like the local bishop or something that's in a nearby church. And oh yeah, okay, so yeah, that's what happens. And then the bishop tells the missionary he's going home now because you're a naughty little child or something. So then at the end of the movie, he's finally going home. But before that, there's soon a reunion. We got Brenden Fraser, awake and well, of course. His roommate, his daughter, and then the mother. Okay? And this is the first time they've all been in the same room since, like, he's, you know, abandoned them. And he's like apologizing, and this is all he does throughout the whole movie. Alright? All he does is apologize, okay? He's so, like, disconnected from taking care of himself and just like eating himself to death and all gluttony. And then, you know, he cares about other people more than himself, pretty much. Like, he does not give a frick about himself. Like, for real. he's willing to eat himself to death so he dies quicker, but at the same time inherits all of his wealth for his 17-year-old daughter once he's dead and stuff, which is like 400k, something like that. 420k. It's like a lot of money, significant amount, you know, because he's like a teacher. Who knows how much of that was saved up over the course of, it's like 9 years, maybe, that he's been eating himself. No, he was eating himself to death after his husband died. So he was probably like 200, not even 300 pounds this whole time. And then his husband dies and he's just in the deepest sorrow. And so then he like triples his weight, quadruples his weight. Now he can't even walk, you know. What was I saying? Alright, so yeah, they're all in this room and they're all arguing. He's apologizing for everything. I'm sorry for abandoning you people. I want to make this right, I swear. I was doing her homework. Why were you doing her homework, you stupid motherhecker? I'm sorry. No more apologizing, you stinky motherhecker. I don't know. And then the missionary shows up, of course. So we have every single character in the whole movie there. And he's like, hello, can I preach to you people now? Some more things about my church? And, man, I don't remember what happens. Maybe he doesn't show up. I don't know what he was doing there if he did, but whatever. So then there's this very emotional part in the argument where, Brenden Fraser, I think his daughter leaves or something, so it's just him and his wife. They're alone, and they're talking, like, and he's like, "This is the first time we've all been in the same room since like what 9 years ago. That's wild." And then his wife just shutting him up, like, "Stop, just let me have a smoke, mate. All right, smoke." Like the mom is exactly like the daughter. They both hate everyone, and yeah, apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So he's like explaining, like, I saved up all this money in case if, you know, something ever happened and you guys needed my help, like if you guys got injured, new car or something. And she's like, why haven't you been paying your child support? And it's like, I've given you money, I've done all of this stuff, and I don't know why you're not appreciating it. Like, I'm sorry. Just continuing to apologize, all that. Should I join? No, no need. No need. Only once. Oh, there he is anyway. Okay. What was I saying? I'm talking about The Whale by A24 with Brenden Fraser. So I'm just like kind of explaining the whole plot in the movie, because this is one that's kind of stuck with me, and I think it's a masterpiece. Okay. Okay. Him and his wife. Okay, ex-wife. I don't know why I'm calling her a wife. Ex-wife. Okay, so he's like, can you please just tell me that I've done anything right for once? Like, that's where that image came from, where he has, where he's like on the oxygen tank and he's crying. Gosh dang it, where is it? I'll find the image. So I don't know, she leaves and he's like super angry now. And so he's just like, he goes to his fridge, he orders pizza, and then he goes to his fridge, he eats just everything in there. He just goes hog wild, and then the pizza delivery guy comes. And this dude is also his own character. He shows up multiple times. He orders pizza constantly in the movie. And so he would leave the money in the mailbox outside so that the pizza guy doesn't come in and see his, like, lardness. Okay. And so this time, same routine. Yeah, just leave the pizza outside. I left the money in the mailbox. And so then he would, you know, leave the pizza, take the money, and then walk off. And so there's a window right next to the door. And so when the pizza guy would walk off, you would see his, like, silhouette walk past the window through the blinds and stuff. with like the light. And so this one time, Mr. Brenden Fraser doesn't even check to see if his silhouette passes by. And so he just goes over and gets the bloody pizza, and he sticks his head out the door, grabs it, and then he looks up, and the pizza guy is just standing like maybe 20 feet away on the apartment balcony, just staring at him in disgust. Because like he's always wondered, why is this guy never shown his face to me? And then now he sees why. He's eating himself to death. He's a big lard. I looked up the whale, and it's just a bunch of pictures of whales. Okay. Brenden Fraser. Where's the stupid picture of him on the oxygen tank crying? Oh my gosh. Oh, there it is. Alright. Podcast people watching the podcast. Here it is. This is what I'm talking about. This is where the picture came from. It's not the exact frame people are memeing, but there it is. It's from the same shot. It's very funny. I'll send it in the group chat for you to see, Owen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my voice is like really sick, so like.
How did you get sick?
I don't know.
There's
It's
something
like
in my tail.
It's like my throat got sore, and then like over time, like I just got more and more sick. Like now my nose is stuffy, but like I still have to go to school because other than that, I would have to like, I'm forced to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what happens next? Alright, so now Mr. Fraser is more guilty, and he takes the pizza in, and he gobbles that whole thing up. It's a very interesting scene, because, like, has Brenden actually taught himself to, like, eat pizza in 2 bites? That's crazy. It had to be CGI pizza or something, I swear. It was just so much he was putting inside himself, IRL. Okay. So then next day, he's on his oxygen tank, having, dying, struggling breathing, because now he's gained a little bit more weight after that eating spree. And so his roommate is, wiping the sweat off of his forehead, something like that. I don't know, trying to tend to his needs one last time. And they kind of accepted, alright, you're dying now. You've done this to yourself. I don't know what to tell you. This is, you could have prevented this. You could have gone to the hospital. He's like, I can't afford the hospital. What are you talking about? You have $400K in your bank account. What do you mean you can't afford the hospital? It's all for my daughter. Please, can you please inherit all the money to my daughter? She's 17. What is she going to do with $400K? I don't know. That's her decision to make. Can you please? Okay, fine. I'll do it. Whatever. I don't know if that was a real scene, but that's pretty much his motivation with the money. He needs it to go to his daughter because he doesn't care about himself. Okay.
Wait, what is his job in the movie? Wasn't it like an English teacher?
Yeah, he was an English teacher.
Yeah. How did he get that much money if he's just an English teacher?
Because he doesn't go outside. He kind of saved all of his money up from over the years after his husband died.
Yeah.
Okay, so the daughter comes in one last time, and she comes in with the essay. Or no, was it the missionary? Okay, I don't know. The missionary comes in at some point, maybe on this day, maybe the other day, and he's like, oh yeah, it was like during his eating spree, the missionary comes in, and he's like, your daughter showed the audio of me talking about the weed thing and admitting it to people publicly. He's saying that I'm going back home now. This is the happiest day of my life. I don't have to be here anymore in the bloody Midwest. I think this takes place in like Iowa or something. But yeah, it's in the Midwest. I know that. And he's like, yeah, that's great. All right, see ya. And he's like, wait. I wanna read the Book of Mormon to you real quick though. The scriptures, something. Can I please, just this one time, for once? He's like, when you look at me, Do you find me disgusting? And he's like, excuse me? Do you find me disgusting? I need you to answer with complete honesty. No, I don't find you disgusting. What do you talk about? Please, I need you to be honest with me. I eat myself to death. I don't care about myself. I only care about my family and my money going to my family. Please, am I disgusting to you? And he's like cornering him. He's intimidating the missionary and stuff, and just like kind of. I want to say gaslighting, but no, it's all true. He's consumed in gluttony. Okay. But yeah, so the missionary projects and he's like, yes, you are disgusting. You're fat, smelly, sweaty lard. There, I said it. You happy? And so then he leaves. And, he goes home and stuff. And he never sees him again. And so then, now, okay, here we go. The last day of the movie, okay? Now he's dying. His daughter comes in and he's like, dog, you submitted my essay. And now I got an F. What is this? And he says, did you read the essay? And she's like, this is my essay from middle school about the stupid whale book. What the frick, mate? And he's like, it's a good essay. I don't know why your teacher thinks it's horrible. I don't know why he gave you an F. Well, nice job, Dad. Now you're gonna make me fail. And so then he starts having a heart attack, breathing, struggling to breathe. And she's like, what's going on? What's going on? What's good with you? And then his roommate's like, he's dying. Okay, there's nothing we can do. He's too fat. And so then it's like, now he's like suffocating and stuff. And he tells her to read the essay one last time. And the door's like open and stuff. And you got like the morning sunlight just beaming into, evening sunlight beaming into the apartment thing. And, she's like in front of the doorway reading the essay. This book about the stupid whale, I think it's very boring. It was unbearable to read, a horrible story, but I think the author is just trying to save us from himself, in his mind, and, just saying all that stuff. And so Brenden, he makes an attempt to stand up. Craziest thing he's ever done in a very long time. Stand up from his couch. Okay? And so he's like trying with all of his might, and she's reading the essay, and eventually he stands up, covered in sweat, losing his breath, and staring at his daughter one last time. And she finishes the essay, and they smile at each other. She's crying with tears of joy. He's standing. He looks up into the ceiling, and he goes, "Nyeh." And it fades to white, and you hear waves crashing, as if the whale has been set free. The whale's spirit is fulfilled and enlightened. Not really enlightened. I don't know. He's dead. He died of a suffocation heart attack. He's dead now. He's in heaven. I don't know why he would be in heaven, because gluttony is one of the deadly seven sins, so he's probably not in heaven. He ate himself to death. But at the same time, it was for the sake of his family, so I don't know. I think it was a charitable act anyway, but still. It's practically suicide he just did there. So that's the movie. What do you think of that, Owen? Would you want to watch it?
Yeah, I don't really watch movies, so like I'm not really like a huge movie person, you know.
What's the first movie you remember watching ever?
I don't know, maybe SpongeBob movie.
No way. David Hasselhoff.
That's a lot. Yeah.
I think the first movie I must have watched, like, I don't know, like Ice Age or something? The first Ice Age movie? I have no idea. I watched all kinds of things. I was just in front of the TV my entire toddler life, you know what I'm saying? Elijah, what's the first movie you remember watching?
First movie I ever remember watching, Curious George.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the man in the yellow hat. It's when like the museum gets taken and they try to fucking keep it.
Oh, I don't
Like,
remember that one.
it's Curious George. I believe it's just called Curious George. You know the one? Yeah, Curious George the movie. Because it's when like he goes on a journey to find the fucking stone, and it shows the tale and how the man in the yellow hat finds Curious, like Mr. George, whatever the fuck you want to call him. It's how they find him.
Wow.
And then like he follows him back and shit, and they try to take him away, and he's like, "No, he came here with me," and like keeps him and shit.
Wow. Okay.
right.
Child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm.
Wait, I'm confused. What is y'all doing?
We're talking about movies. So.
Oh, is y'all doing a podcast or like y'all just talking?
Podcast.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
T.
What?
T. I think I'm gonna go. My voice is like dead.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I can't really stay either, buddy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
I
talk
just
about my
joined.
Sigma male movies and my Breaking Bads and my Better Call Sauls, and just like
You
trying
better-
to enlighten myself with all these personalities.
Damn. Yeah, I can't really talk right now, but if I saw y'all's messages, I was just exploring an abandoned church. So.
What? What?
But, yeah,
you
I'll
live?
catch y'all later. Huh?
You live in a fallout shelter or something?
Nah. We just walked down to another neighborhood.
Why are there
to
so
an
many abandoned
church.
places where you live? Like you had
Have I told you
slaves
about
over
all the
there or
abandoned
something?
places?
You had slaves over there or something?
I mean, pretty much. Nah, but there's a bunch of crackheads.
Yeah. Old.
And food nuts.
This neighborhood I live in, it was built in the 90s. It's not really that old, so there's not really
I mean,
anything broken
My
down
grandma's
here.
house is from the 1800s. It's a 2-story house. It's old as fuck.
Oh my gosh.
It's made of like oak or something, or not
Oh
oak,
my
like pine.
gosh.
Oh yeah, no, it's made of oak.
Okay, I need I want this episode to be a little bit shorter, so I want to talk for
All
another
right.
10 minutes about
Well, I gotta
Sigma
go
males.
though. So
Yep.
y'all have a done diddly awesome podcast. I'll catch y'all.
There he goes. All right. So I started watching Breaking Bad, and it's pretty good in it. Like, is it an S tier show? Maybe. The first season was amazing. The beginning of the second season was like the best of the entire show ever. And then the rest of the second season is just so boring. My favorite episode in the entire series was when Jesse finds the meth head house and there's that kid that's not properly clothed, no food. He's just there as his parents are like going off committing crimes. And they come back and just neglect him. He just watches TV on their like TV from like the 80s or something. Yeah, and so then Jesse like I don't know, one of the parents die or something, and then he like calls the cops on them. He just runs off, and so then the cops show up to save the kid, and then I assume the other meth head gets arrested. Yeah, that's my favorite episode. Season 5, it's about as good as season 1. Season 5, like towards the end, it's all the tension. Mr. White has the beard and he kills everyone. Alright, so Better Call Saul. I've watched the first 3 seasons. Prequel to Breaking Bad and stuff. It's pretty good in it. We see more of Mike and stuff. We see more of Mr. Goodman. His real name is Jimmy McGill. I didn't even know that. But yeah, like, I think the entirety of the Breaking Bad universe, everyone's just a Sigma male in their own way. Every single character. Walt Jr., Jesse, Walter, Mike, I can't think of anyone else. It's been a while, okay. And then Better Call Saul, it's just amped up. More Sigma males. Okay, you like actually see some more emotion from Bob, the actor for Jimmy, alright? Like, he actually enhances his acting and actually plays a very different character that kind of sets up like how Breaking Bad came to be with him and stuff, being a lawyer. Yeah. So I'm halfway. I stopped to watch Owl House so I can rizz up a liberal chick in my Spanish class. Now the year's ending, but Owl House is still pretty good in it. Like, if you like Steven Universe or something, then you'll love the Owl House because it's very liberal. I don't want this podcast to be political anymore, honestly, but like still, I'm saying it how it is. There's all kinds of agendas in that show, but I'm taking it for what it is. It's a good show. Like if you're like 13 plus, then you should be fine watching it. If you're like in elementary school, then you know your parents are probably not gonna appreciate you watching that unless if they're woke or something. But yeah, I remember I'd watch shows and like as I was in like 4th and 5th grade, they would start having like 2 dad families and stuff. And the like in the Loud House, Clyde had 2 dads and stuff, and they would show them pretty frequently. And my mom would see that there were 2 dads for this black child, and she's like, "What the frick, bruh? Can you change the channel? I don't want you watching that." And I'm like, "What's the problem?" And she's like, "I don't. Why they got gay people on kids shows now? What's going on?" This was like 2017, 2018 probably. So I could have been in 6th grade. I don't know. Like that's crazy. Like having 2 dads in 2016 or 2017. Like gosh dang, Nickelodeon was wild for that. And then Cartoon Network, ever since I stopped watching them, they got so woke. Crazy woke. Just everywhere. Black people everywhere. They're like, "Kids, don't be racist." Remember that commercial? Like, gosh dang it. What a shame. But, you know, Steven Universe is that show was always good. Owl House is good. Anyway, alright, so let's go Sigma Male movies. The first Sigma Male movie I watched was back in 2021 or 2020. I saw Joker finally, and it was pretty good in it. Really good. And then The Batman in 2022. Really, really good. I wanted to watch it a second time, but there was complications. Oh yeah, American Psycho, the classic. I don't know. Not really much to say there. You kind of get the idea. We got Drive with Ryan Gosling and Blade Runner. Really good movies. Fun to watch if you're like drunk with your friends and stuff. Or you're on like a date night. There's a lot of nudity. Okay, one thing I've noticed with all these Sigma Male movies, they're all rated R. I don't know why. Every single one of them. So weird. But yeah, so all of these characters are literally me. My Sigma Male character right now, I think it's between Ryan Gosling and Jimmy McGill. Like kind of a combination of that. That's my spirit animal. Okay. And then when Joker 2 comes out, that's going to be wild. I'm so excited for that. And there's going to be The Batman 2. I don't know when. Probably in 2 years from now. Yeah. I'm just watching anything that's Sigma. I'm going to watch Peaky Blinders at some point. After I finish Better Call Saul. Maybe not. Maybe when I finish Season 4 of Better Call Saul, and then I'll watch Peaky Blinders real quick, and then get back to it. And, but yeah, right now I'm just watching The Owl House. Very wholesome. Good vibes. Very entertaining. It always makes sure I have a good rest of my night. Very relaxing. Very stimulating. The jokes are horrible, but that's what makes them funny. The jokes get better in Season 2, but still. But it's fine. Closing. Man, I wish I could talk more about these Sigma Male movies. Everything that was like interesting me, that interests me, is just like leaving my mind. I just don't even know what to say anymore. But yeah, I think this for a solo episode, so mostly solo, I think this is a good place to end off. I mostly wanted to talk about The Whale. Yeah. I haven't seen John Wick 4 yet. That's another one. It's just very Sigma. I rewatched John Wick 1. I watched the beginning of 2, and then I just skipped to 3. Yeah, Sigma Male. I'm trying to I'm trying to copy and paste these personalities so I can actually interact with people properly. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, if you haven't noticed, channel has a new profile picture. So does the main channel. I've been trying to like make new profile pictures for these things and also all the other social media for a while. I've just been trying to perfect my digital art. I got an app on my phone, so I made this profile picture here. It's on my phone and stuff. Let's just leave the call. Sub to the main channel, of course. None of you are sub to the main channel. You're wasting your time being sub to the second channel. Like, what are you doing? Follow the Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Join the Discord server. There you go. Oh yeah, director's cut of the Decades Project for History. Upload on here pretty soon. Maybe tomorrow, maybe in 2 days. I don't know. Soon. Maybe another week. It might be delayed another week. Who knows? But I'm going to be leaving for Scotland next week. So there's going to be one more podcast episode. And then there's going to be like a 3-week hiatus. Then when I come back, I'll talk about my trip probably. I don't know. And then there's going to be a vlog of it. So y'all are going to be spoiled at the end of May here. Middle to end of May. And then, you know, middle to end of June. Y'all are going to get some banger videos here. And they're not even going to fit on my main channel. Like, I wanted to put them on my main channel, but, you know, they're just way too different from my normal commentary videos. Like, who wants to see a highly edited vlog, like my San Francisco vlog from last year? Who wants to see a Decades Project about the 1980s? No. Going on the second channel. And remember our motto? It's all just for funsies. This podcast is not serious. I just talk about things here that I can't really talk about on the main channel because, you know, I'm strictly political on the main channel. If I talk about something insightful, mind-provoking, then thought-provoking, then, you know, it's just not gonna do it. Phase up. FaZe Clan is dying, but phase up. Alright, that's about it. See ya. Bye-bye.